Welcome back. Ironically, this is still the night before the last video went up, but figured on a little change of plan. So you'll notice it's dark and I'm moving bales, and these are not canola straw bales. These are last year's wheat straw. So this lot was what was back here wrapping the calves pen. So I put it out here to block the back road during the breeding season, because we don't want the bulls hollering at each other over the fence. And this is as good a place as any to put bales. Well, I want to get the canola straw into the yard. I don't know if Liam's coming out this weekend, but if he is, that's what I want him to do. But typically when we're weaning, I like to have this pen wrapped in bales. Now, 2 reasons. It's double security, no broken boards, don't end up with any issues. But also, if you wrap the pen in bales, it muffles the sound. So, I kind of like that too. Plus, I kind of want to start getting those bales in off the field before we get too much further into winter. And like I said, we can get this stuff done. We use this area here as a staging ground for the big trailer, and then we can get bales down that back road and along the other pen as well. So, thank you for clicking on the video, and we'll see you in the next clip. Boo! Welcome back. Yeah, the weather, she is a changing. Woo! It's cool, it's raining, and it's well, ice pellets, not hail. Call it ice pellets, just to be kind. So we've got a lot to do today. Gotta feed the big lot out in the field, then we gotta feed the ones here, and then we gotta get the middle pen ready for the golden girl. Yeah, I can see the big herd is waiting right now. Oh, you can barely see that. They heard the tractor fire up, so I don't doubt they're probably quite vocal right now. Very grumpy. So as soon as we move the golden girls into the yard, the big ones get to move up into the top paddock, so that'll get them happy. Meanwhile, I am watching the radar because Mrs. Piper Doug ordered some fancy recliner chairs like my dad has. Because apparently they are to die for as far as on poor old backs. So she went and ordered up a set of them, thanks to my mother-in-law, her mother. We're doing a bunch of home improvements. Yeah, I gotta get this gear fixed. That's gonna be one of the jobs once this thing goes into the shop. Between getting the 3-point arm linkage fixed. Don't know whether we're gonna crack the gearbox just yet. Now, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Dad, that's a ticking time bomb." Yeah, I know. Well, what we know is this tractor will not stay in any of those two. So I'm pretty sure the synchronizer, those little buttons that were laying in the oil, that's got to do with that. And I can live without that for now. So, until we have all the other machines figured out, old Johnny here, he's just gonna getting the chores done. So he is. That's one of the other things that would be nice to have functioning windshield wipers. But we don't. So, we'll bring you back once we get fitting done and we start getting that pen set up. Okay, bye-bye now. Poor girls. Absolutely miserable. Well, darlings, it's going to get colder. Yeah, there's a wee skip of ice on the water. Still not enough to worry the drinking, but we are to get down to -10 overnight this weekend, so that's going to freeze up a lot of the big surface. The creek will still run, but okay, back to the yard. All together now. Gonna do some sketchy stuff. Doo-da, doo-da. Hope I get away with it. Oh, the doo-da-day. Oh, the doodly-da-day. Oh, the doo-da-day. Gonna do some sketchy stuff. Oh, the doo-da-day. Holy moly. Sure glad I'm not in a tractor that has jumpy clutches. Okay, suck it in. Suck it in, Piper Doug. Suck it in. Yeah. I've never tried this. Just touched that one. Okay, let's see if I can squeeze this one a bit more. Maybe I should use Vaseline the next time. Anyway, woo. Okay. Yeah, I need these two panels. One over there. Point the camera where you're looking, Doug. One over there, and then one in here for when we do the big process. So that's all the panels out of there. Fingers crossed we won't need them. And then those panels will be coming out of there, but right now we need them. So I got one left there to grab to go. Anyway, I'll fill it in when we get there. Love that stuff. Oh my gosh. Love that stuff. Yeah, that's temporary. Because there's the 4 golden girls and the 5 calves moved all by myself. Now I'm hoping this is not going to come back to bite me in the butt, because I've got these open girls right next to the door to the bulls. So we'll let them get over with. That's the girls. I've been to, what are we, 3 and 4 now? Yeah. They know it's coming. They know it's coming. Winter time condominiums. So yeah, this is what I was up to last night. Yoink. Clearing out this back road, putting all the bedding bales right there, and then that will let me down in here with those canola bales on the big trailer down and in, and then start wrapping the calves pen, get everything all situated. So what I can do now is I can separate the power coming from this paddock and then just start closing off the unneeded grazing, because there's no point in sending a whole bunch of energy away to fences that there's no cows going to be around. So yeah, we're at that stage. Woo-hoo. gate. Yeah, we got about 3 inches of snow last night. Animals are in complete shock. As is Piper Doug. That much was not in the forecast. The animals are all recharging in the sun heat, so that's nice. Oh my gosh, what a bugger. Well, it's gonna be coming. Hey, beauty. So this is one of the Bennett bales. That was that really tall, kind of, well, I let it go too long. I actually wasn't even planning on baling it. I was gonna maybe just cut it and push it into the bush and burn it, but might as well be over here making biomatter. So they got their 2 good bales. Now that it's cold for the next few days, it's not supposed to warm up again. Now that it's cold for the next few days, I figure we bring a 3rd bale out, but this is just roughage. They've got plenty of energy out of that stuff. So whether it's this stuff or aged straw, the only downside to this stuff, it's so dusty I didn't realize I was skidding the back tire because you're dropping the row right by the wheel. My wheel was skidding and pushing up and plugged this. Lucky enough, it does unplug itself most of the time. They're happy now. They were royally peeved off last night when I was, as you can see, the one load of bales I got in last night. I didn't want to do too much because I've got no rear lights on that trailer, and having to go along the busy road there, didn't want anyone slamming in the back of me. I have magnet lights, but I tried them and they don't work, so I have to get some new ones. When I was unloading them, I could hear these guys up at the gates hollering to get into the yard, but they always do that. Okay, gotta go for my injection. Oh, and anybody wondering, even though it's -5, yeah, the creek will run. The creek will probably run until, the creek will probably run until it's on average about minus 10, -8. Yeah, it's got to get really cold before the creek will stop running. We do have a spring up this way that runs all winter long, but after a while it doesn't get this far south. So yeah, they've got plenty of water, but we will be moving them up closer to the back of the yard this weekend. We're aiming to wean on Tuesday, but we'll see how we do. I don't know where my cows are. I've lost them. Join us as we look for cows. I found them. They were hiding down here. It's a bit of a northwesterly breeze, so they were down here hiding. Still got some of their reed grass down here they like to lay in amongst. So I'm just going to unwrap this Bennett bale, and then we will get ready to let them on up into 1 and 2, because that's where they're going to be for the weekend until we do the big push to get them weaned on Tuesday. Woo-hoo-hoo. So there's the thing. As the cows adjust their diet, here is yesterday's Bennett bale versus the Bennett bale that got put down at the south field. They've picked through that really well. You can see a lot of stemmy stuff left behind, but there was a lot of grass. Older grass that was in some of the sections of that field. And yeah, they picked through it really well. Outside of pooping on it and whatnot, but really happy with that. That's why I like to put the Bennett bales up on high ground, because that the rest of that sort of a roughage, just biomass, is left on where the ground needs it most. So happy with that. And then number ones, the older number one bales, completely cleaned up. Look at that. And it's not like they were running after me when I came down the field. They just slowly sauntered up to me. So seemed to be right on the right mark. 2 good bales and then just a filler bale. So yeah, and we're gonna move them up to the first paddocks. Probably start giving them access to heated water though, because the creek is freezing in the slow spots, but I'm hoping I can show you here. Just in there you can see some open spots. And we were at -10 this morning. And we are to be at -11 tonight and then start warming back up again. So yeah, right there you can see in the center of the screen it's dark running water. And then right there, ice. The only danger is that some of the ones accidentally try to walk onto the ice. Now the ice is not thick enough that they can get onto it and fall. That's the saving grace. That's when you know you got to pull your cows out of access to ice until it gets really strong ice. Because you don't want them to get out too far and then go through, because you will lose them. So, looking good. Saturday. Just had lunch with some dear friends, visitors from Saskatchewan. Those of you who know, I've mentioned Zach before. If you want to know who Zach is, just Google Zach Miller from Whitewood, Saskatchewan. He's an incredible young man. Incredible. He's had a hard go, but man, does he make a difference. So he's up with his fiance, and they're just came for lunch, a little visit from the lovely Gab. Just gonna head back and spend a few more minutes with them until they leave, and then we'll get about our day. Boop, boop. Yep. Yesterday went and picked up the new pallet of net wrap. We use close to a pallet of net wrap. It depends on how many straw bales we do, plus the fact we did 500 less hay bales this year. So we have a whole layer of 9,000 left in the workshop. So the girls are way over there eating. So yeah, you'll notice they are 8,000. So that's new. It's what they had. And as Guy Pounder, hi Guy, said, you know, I'm getting older, and because of my back problems, maybe I should forego the 9s and go with the 8s. We'll see. I'm trying to think what we used to get. I think we just used to get whatever they had at the co-op, and that could have been 7s even at that point. So, yeah, for under $4,000, 16 tubes of 64-inch 8,000s. So, not too bad. Vernag for all your net wrap needs and other ag stuff. Kubota, lots of Kubota. What the heck? Why is somebody driving in my field? What are you doing, buddy? You're lost, dude. You best go back whence you came. took off. There's only one person who might be allowed to just drive around our farm shooting, and that would be Neighbor Man. But he would normally inform me if he was going to be on the field next to my cows. And that person got to the bottom of the bale track and acted like they didn't know where they were, so looks like we're playing silly buggers again. Good thing there's no tracks in there, because I know nobody has hunting permission in that field, and I'll be out there hauling bales. Tell ya, that pisses me off. See, there's the tracks right there. Yeah, they went on down the bale track. And the cows are right, literally right there. Oh. That's just bad. It's just bad. Uh-oh. It looks like they still got canola out. Well, there's no sign of our unannounced guests. Not yet, anyway. Gotta keep an eye out. We're at that season again. A few more days to do this, to go from one to the other, to the other, to the other. A few more days, and then we're going to run them into the corrals, and I say it's going to be, it'll be a week, because once the new gates come for number 1 and number 2, we'll get set up to pull these guys out of the corral their mums are in. The only problem we have is those two little geezers. They never come to grain, so we're gonna have to corral them. A very calm wintry day. It's been trying to snow off and on. Anyway, that's them working up to the Bennett bale. So they'll fill up on that stuff, and they don't realize that the gates are now sitting open to number 1 and number 2. So they'll be happy tonight, and then tomorrow, when they're filling up, they'll realize that the gates will now be open to paddock. Paddock will be the last move before we bring them in on Monday for weaning. Woohoo! So I am now starting to go this way with the wall to close them in. Tell you what, this sure does help the old man out with Liam gripping all these bales for me. It's so nice to just pull up to a group, to start bip bumpity bap onto the trailer and back out. Maybe 2 more loads and that'll be the south pens completely wrapped. So I think it would be about 3.5, 4 loads. So this will be load 4. So I think it'll be about the same amount of loads to wrap the big west pen for the cows. I don't really know if we're going to do that right now, but we do want to have that done before we get into calving season. So I'll probably, when I'm bringing them in, I'll just start putting them around the corrals. The rest of them we'll just stack them wherever. Probably along the back of the corrals there to stop the snow coming through the trees, but like I said, so this load here will have the pen done, and then 1 more load will have the whole south side completely covered. I think that, I didn't say that right. Anyway, so there's a pile there, and I think there's a pile, yeah, right over the hill there, and then there's another pile over here, and then the rest are over this direction. So he has the top west side of the field still to do. So see, we have hills here. We have hills. Look at that huge hill. Almost couldn't climb it. Okay, I'm gonna load this one. Well, I painted myself into a bit of a corner here. So I ain't moving that panel in the dark because I don't know where the heifers all are. So that can wait till tomorrow. I got 2 more pairs to come off the trailer, and then I'll need a little bit of a load to finish off this section here. But there you go. Number 3 and number 4 are almost completely wrapped in bales. And yes, I know, everybody. What's the point in putting up windbreak boards, Piper Doug, if you're just going to put bales around them? Well, it's a very good point, and I don't care. Na boo boo. If I don't feel comfortable standing in those pens in the middle of a winter storm, I don't want my critters in those pens in the middle of a winter storm. So the boards are there to hold the animals in, and if you put the bales there, then the critters would just pick at the bales. So the boards are to protect the bales just as much as vice versa, keeping the wind off of them. So, peace of mind also. Any bit of wall gets broken, board gets pulled out or something or other, there's a big honking wall just around them. So, and that way, on normal average years, we just start using those bales when we get towards the end of winter. And yeah, that way everything's right there, because we've got to put the bales somewhere. Might as well put them right next to the pens they're going to be used in. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Like I said, I've got a pile more to bring in for the other corral, the big north one where the weaning will be happening. Probably do a pile of that tomorrow. It's to be cold still tomorrow, but warming up as the day goes on. Tomorrow night, cold again, and then warmer on Monday. So then Monday, I'll do some wall repair in the big pen, some boards to fix, and then bedding and setting up. And then Monday night, we'll shut the cows in. Shut the cows and the calves in. And that way, everything will get ready. Tuesday, we wean. Woo! Oh, I know it's the noisiest nights of the year, but once those babies are shut in, Piper Doug's a happy guy. Then I can just work on spoiling my ladies. So I'm just gonna set these bales off. That way the trailer's empty for tomorrow to haul some more in. And yeah. Start bringing some hay bales in, because I've got to set bale feeders full in the weaning pen, and I've got to set bales ready to go in bale feeders out in the paddock, so that when we split the mums off the babies, they're going to some nice fresh number 1 hay, while we do the last of the splitting in the corral. By the time the mums realize they've been duped, the babies will hopefully be around the corner and into that pen, locked up, and then we go from there. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and if you happen to see a dark pickup truck scallywagging around, there's a couple other people who've said they've seen it lingering. Make sure to ram them with your bale spears, you know, subtle like. So I'm gonna keep doing this. Thanks for clicking on the video. Sure hope you come back and visit us here on the Shire Wreck-It Ranch. Got quite a bright moon tonight. It's not full by any chance, but lovely. Bye everybody.